So it's been a few months since I had the intention of starting up some regular vlogging. I did my first one when I was traveling around Europe a few months ago and went over there with the intention to make a fair few videos, but never really got round to it. And then obviously since that last video, this is another few months since trying to make this one. And during that time, I've had the best intentions to get this stuff going because it's something that I really want to do. But it's also very easy to sit around and give myself excuses why I can't do that. And one of those excuses has been around how much my running has taken out of me these past few years. I've been trying to run at a quite competitive level. I've had some quite good success, but the level of effort I've had to put towards that has been pretty extreme, and the last few months it's started to catch up with me, which is something I've experienced a few times where I've been pushing myself to the edge and getting quite fatigued. The fatigue starts to trigger off quite cyclical patterns of sadness, which is something that I've been struggling with for the last few years as well. So I've decided to take the next 4 to 6 weeks off running, which is a really big deal for me. It's quite a hard thing to do because it's been my life for the past few years. I've sacrificed so much to try and get to the point that I'm at, but I just really feel like I need it at this time. I raced last weekend. I did a half marathon, cracked out a 74-minute and 11-second half marathon, which was almost a minute off my half marathon time, and I really hadn't been training to do that, so I was quite surprised. So I thought that made a good opportunity to just step back for a little while, take 4 to 6 weeks off, and that's why I'm out here today. It's a perfect opportunity to kick this off in quite an interesting way. I've come out to the Dandenong Ranges, which is a place where I do a lot of my run training for hill work and trail running, and I spend so much time out here running around. I know the area really well, and it's such a beautiful place, and every time I'm out here training, I'm always running around thinking, oh, it'd be such a nice place to just get some footage or take some photos. But when I'm out here training, I'm focusing on that, and I never get the opportunity to just stop and take in the surroundings at a deeper level. So I thought today would be a really great opportunity. It's a Sunday morning. I'd normally be out here putting the hard work in, but today I'm going to walk one of the trails that I normally run and try and get some footage, maybe stop and have another chat to the camera while I'm out here, or just get some footage. I don't really have a plan for this. I'm looking forward to seeing how this all comes out and what the next few weeks are like, and seeing if I can get my energy levels back and get myself out of this little phase of sadness that I'm going through, and hoping that using this medium of me trying to capture it and be a little bit more vulnerable, which being in front of the camera still really makes me feel that way. So I think it's, again, this medium or this way of talking to the camera is really cathartic and something that I think will kind of help me through the process of the next few weeks. So looking forward to what we capture out there today, and hopefully I can put a nice little edit together and share it with some people. Thanks. Just wanted to touch on what I was talking about in the car before I came out here, about sadness and just struggling with things. And I know that we all experience sadness in different ways and we all handle it in our unique ways, but yeah, for me, I think a big part of what's been getting me down recently is a lack of socializing, and my running's really played a big part of that because it became my priority. So anything to do with socializing or social aspects of living definitely became secondary to my running. So I'd always have to consider going out and socializing versus getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and practicing my yoga and meditation, then going out for a three-hour run. So yeah, it's been quite tough, and I think, well, from my experience anyway, you know, the more times you kind of push back on social invites, the less they start to come your way. So that's definitely what's happened to me, and I know it's something that I need to correct. And whether I try and find more of a balance between my running and socializing, or I just shift more towards one than the other. That's what I want to kind of use these next few weeks to play around with a bit, to see if that can start to have a bit more of a positive impact on me and start to make me feel a little bit more myself again. But yeah, it just really highlights the importance of socializing and being around people, which is definitely something that I've not necessarily avoided in the past few years, but I spent a lot of time isolated writing my book and focusing on my running, and it's now that I'm just starting to kind of move away from those things that I'm realizing the impact that had on me. And I don't think anything's like ever a quick fix. I think to heal from anything or to repair and change something properly, it takes time and effort, a lot of hard work, self-discipline. And I think just for myself, re-entering into socializing is just going to be that, just me needing to actually make the effort to get out there, reconnect with people again, or make new friends, which at the age of 37 is not the easiest thing. And it's actually something that prevents me from doing it. I know that it's not easy to make new friends at this age, so really highlights the value of good long-lasting friendships. So I just wanted to get those thoughts out there, and yeah, let's see what happens over the next few weeks with that. Just got a few really cool shots of a wallaby with a joey in its pouch. I see that a lot out here, a lot of really cool wildlife, lots of wallabies, and the kookaburras and cockatoos and rosellas, all the other birds around, really cute out here, really beautiful. And always seeing them, always wishing I could capture them on camera. So pretty happy to get the wallaby bouncing around. Yeah, really cool. Getting to the top of this last little climb back up towards the car park where I parked. Usually that's one of the last little sections that I'll run when I'm out here. Wasn't much easier to walk it, it's pretty steep. Really nice section, really liked it. So yeah, happy to have come out here and tried something a little bit different. Hopefully I've got some good footage, enough to just put a little edit together, and then see where I can start to take this stuff from now. I'm really keen to break into regular video posting and just doing more with my workshops and the stuff I've learned through the practices of yoga and meditation. I think it's really beneficial, and I've kind of hidden it away for too long, always a little bit wary about where I've come from, which was a world totally a million miles away from yoga and meditation, so the investment banking industry. So I still have those memories within myself that make me a little bit reluctant to share and teach what I know, and it's definitely something I need to break out of. And it's the biggest thing, it's the highest on my list of priorities at the moment, to really nail this and really get just more awareness of what these practices can actually do. It's quite phenomenal. I wrote my book about it. It was effectively a case study. My book Kundalini Running was effectively a case study for the benefits of yoga and meditation, especially in this day and age. It's a lot of the problems we see in the world, the illnesses, mental health issues, things like this, are a lot to do with physiological issues, of course, but also awareness, lack of awareness. Because if we're unaware of what's happening internally, we can't do anything to fix it. And what that tends to lead to is people rushing out to health professionals who can do good work and can help people out of acute situations, but when it comes to long-term fixes, the modern medicines don't really fix the underlying root causes to a lot of the health issues that we're seeing in the world at the moment. And I went through that quite significantly with a brain tumor and as I was saying before, clinical depression, things like this. And yeah, it's a long road back to recovery, but the tools of yoga and meditation, when applied properly and as a form of therapy, can be super beneficial. So that's really what I want to get out to now, is really starting to spread that message, not from a spiritual aspect, but actually from an aspect of science, and collecting the data and actually having more case studies of people confirming that these techniques work for them too. That's really what I want to focus on over the next few months. Cheers.